Hello, good morning. Today we'll be seeing the second experiment of Web Technology Lab, and that's again HTML with a little bit of CSS. Our task is to form HTML web pages which contains form and media elements. So this is to use tags like div, paragraph, heading, image, anchor, table tag, audio, video, iframes, and forms, input, select progress, field set, etc. And we are asked to create a web page of this form, and here we can see that these three are links, and this is a search bar which will obtain through input tag, and then we have an image followed by some text, and here through iframes we could create videos, or we can take the embedded video URLs of any YouTube video, and then we can paste here, and then we can also similarly we can take the maps, and then the second page, that is in the admission page, that is a link, again the same link which is applied here. That is, we are having three web pages: the home page, admission page, and the calendar page. So in the admission page we'll have a form like setup in which we can gather information from the user, and we should have name, application number, password, and date, and so on. And this is checkbox where we can select multiple options, whereas in a radio button we can take only one. And here the address is a text area, and image we can choose, and the submit button. And the last one is the calendar, which we take as iframe or image like thing from the university page. So we'll see in the code for it. So this is the first one. This is the home page. We can see that the home page, Karina University, and then this was our this was our page. I just changed something else after that, the video, and then we have the maps, and all the search bars are already set up. So we can see that here this is the CSS part. So the CSS start with the tag style, and all the hash names are IDs or classes, and the text align is used to position the correct region where it has to be placed, and margin is also for positioning the required tag or the section. And we'll come to the body part. We have an audio which is running. It's an autoplayed loop, so it will loop again and again, and this is just a audio, and we'll close the audio tag as well after it is done. And then we'll have the heading Cardinal University in color green. This is using an inline CSS, and then we have anchor tags for three links: experiment a.html, b.html, c.html. So all these are within this, and we'll come across each one by one. And then experiment 2a.html is this page itself. It will go to the top again, and then we'll have a search bar. So for that we need to use an input tag, and the type is search, and placeholder is the text which appears there before we type. So we can see that search is being written here, and that is as a highlight. And now we have the table, that is to position all these contents. Before that we have an image of Karnia, and we have assigned the width and an alternate. And for the content below we have given the font family as Times New Roman, and then we are setting up a table so that each we can correctly position the contents and the video. And here we could see that these are some dummy contents, and strong is a tag used for bold letters, and then iframe, and the id is video. Iframe is used to embed some video into the web page, and we take the video URL from the YouTube. When we give a right click or share, we get the embedded video URL, and that is being used here using the src source attribute, and it also allows autoplay. And then we have allow full screen and alternate command, and then we close the table tag. And finally, for the map, we use again the iframe and obtain the map with the border and border of 5. Here again we use css, so this also allow full screen, and we could reposition the footer and all the contents here. And now when we go to the academic form section, here it is. In the form section, again we have all these 3 links again, so all these are all links. We can see that the mouse arrow changes, and here we will see that we have a form attribute. So the action here is post, so that the data is being retrieved in the server side. And then we have a field set, and then legend. Field set is area where the form is being form attributes and all those input tags are being used, and the heading as application. So a very important tag that we will be using is the input tag, that is to take the value from the user. And there are different types of input tags, some like text for taking text values, can be any text, and here this is a name which acts as a id, and then a placeholder is some default name kept. And then we also have an attribute called as a required. So this required is used so that if the user forgets to fill this particular section, then he cannot submit the content. And then application number, again we kept some placeholder, and the max length is 20, so more than 20 will not be accepted here. And again this is a required thing. And we have password, and the type is password. So what happens here is, each time when someone press some password, it would change to some symbols. It can be star symbols, and then the minimum length should be 6, and this is also a required attribute. And then we have date of admission, DOA, and the type is date, so that we could get the date in that format. So if we click, we'll get what date it is supposed to be get. We'll get a calendar. And then we have the address bar, which is of text area, a larger version of text, so that we could write multiple lines. And now here for day scholars, we have 2 options, yes or no, which can be obtained through a radio tag. So if it is yes, then we can click yes, or else if it is no, we can click no. So only one would be clicked, whereas in a checkbox we can select multiple things, and here we use the input tag values, and each time it is input tag what matters. And then we have something called as list or options. So here we can select anything from the given options. So it's like if we click, a list would be given mechanical, electrical, and we can click any one. So for that we use the tag called as option tag, and the value is just an ID. And then we have something called as file. That's a type of input which can accept values, images, or anything except files. So it can accept image file, video file, anything on clicking it. and then finally we have the submit button, and that is the submit. And finally we can close the form after we close the field set, and that is with this form web page, that is the application web page. And now if we go to the calendar side, we can see that the source code of it, initially we have all these HTML links, and then we obtain the calendar using an iframe, and the calendar PDF is being imported into it, and we assign the height and width as required. So this is with the second experiment, and that's it. Thank you. And let's see whether it's working for everywhere. If you give admission, it goes to the admission block, admission, yes, and then calendar, yes, and it works. Again we can go to admission, and all this works successfully, and we can see that if we give some, it works. And here you will get a special symbol, and mobile number is mandatory. So all these things, if we give a submit, then it'll say that please fill out this, just because we gave attribute called as required. That's it. Thank you.